Hey, look who's there, Mr. AZ. God, almost like you had inside information. You know something, AZ, I don't know about coming online or what? It's going, that's for sure. It takes Paul a few minutes to get everything up and running here.
Well, I just got rid of the emojis.
Yeah. Mm.
Okay, I think we got it all. At least I'm hoping. Hey, David AZ, how you doing, buddy?
Oh, nice. The two cruisers just flew by my house toward Port Burwell.
You never know, Paul. You never know.
They said that Samuel Risley, that's the Canadian Coast Guard, going to be departing the Sarnia government dock in approximately 25 minutes. We will be leaving the dock and doing maneuvers in the harbor.
Wonder what kind of maneuvers they're going to do in the harbor.
I don't know.
The Mark R. Barker is just coming up to the Black River right now.
Yeah, that's what they're saying on the chart. It's approaching the Black River. So Samuel Risley is going to wait until the Mark Barker is gone before coming out,
Yep.
apparently.
Is it Risley? I thought it was Risley.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. Could be Risley, could be Risley. I don't know. Who knows? It's a boat. It's a ship. It's a plane. No, man. Oh, where's that thing I wanted to show you this morning? You've probably already seen it, but okay, cool. So we got to share the screen this morning, and this is for you, Paul. Excuse me, you're gonna feel the bird feeder soon to want me to ask, you know.
We just found out you got Tiffany down there. They didn't tell us.
um, Paul, I'm going to run and catch that ship real fast. I'll be back.
Okay.
Can you handle it?
Oh, I think we're big enough here to handle somebody to come in and give me a hand.
Yep. Let's hope they do. Okay.
Yeah. Okay, where is everybody this morning? Okay. Okay, I'm sitting here by my lonesome, everybody. Oh no, Paul can't. You see the picture on Paul's screen? Somebody took his parking spot. He can't go now. Yeah. Ugh. Hey, good morning, Edward. Hey, how's it going this morning, guys? I know it's a little Chuck and Philly around here this morning, but she's cool. And Paul's gonna run out the door. He's leaving us again. But yeah, he gonna go catch a ship, the Mark Parker. Yeah. Hey, and there's Mr. W. Drones himself, Daryl. Hey, good morning. How's it going? You staying pretty busy doing all that drone work? I know you've been kind of crazy there for a while, doing a lot of stuff, especially a lot of was. Excuse me. You do a lot of mapping and stuff, and yeah. Yeah, Paul just he got the stream going here, but he wanted to go catch a shit. So he's working in Kansas this morning, and then he's got to go to Missouri this afternoon. Wow, how'd you manage to be able to get all that work? Wow, 1,339 acres combined today. Wow. Yeah, you got your work cut out for you. Hopefully, you can charge your batteries on the go. You're gonna need lots of them by the sound of it. 1,300 acres. Wow. You're gonna have to have quite a few batteries for that stuff. Wow, got a 2,000-watt inverter in the truck. Well, I guess you would have to have something like that in order to keep up with the batteries and stuff. I got an inverter in the back of my truck, but very, very seldom ever use it. But I tried it one time for charging batteries. I drained my battery in my truck so fast, couldn't believe it. Yeah. Oh, the first like 363 acres will take 2 sets of batteries. What drone are you using for that there, Daryl? Hey, Jody, good morning. How's it going? Paul's gone. There's a ship coming there around the corners there shortly, so he's going down to catch it. I think it's just coming around. No, not yet. Just smokes from the stacks, I guess, making it look worse than what it is. Can we see Paul? Paul's not there yet. You see a picture of the parking lot. He should park beside that black truck that's in his parking spot there, but oh, he'll be coming shortly. He's already on the road as far as I know, so. Oh, there's Paul, just pulling in now, going sideways into the parking lot. Yeah. Oh, the Matrice 350 with a P1 camera. Okay. Are you cold there, Jody? I know she's cool here again this morning. I think it was only like 19 degrees Fahrenheit this morning, I think. But Let me see. Go to here. It's gonna be pretty cool for fall. 26 right now, feels like 17 degrees Fahrenheit. So she's a cool old day. It was only supposed to go high at 33 this afternoon. It was supposed to be sunny, but anyways. Uh, the only thing I don't like, wow, because my sign business is the only reason I don't like it. We got no snow here, so if the down below freezes, the ground starts to freeze and it's got a lot of moisture in it, it gets hard like freaking concrete for me to put signs up, right? So, but there's usually a layer of snow there. Then it freezes. It's not such a big deal because the snow will actually insulate the ground. So, and there's that Mr. Jonathan Jackson. Good morning. Oh, you're doing landfills. Ugh. Guess they just want to. I guess. Wow, you said it's going to be 50 there Thursday and Friday. Jeez, I wish it was that warm. I don't know. Oh, there's climate change. Look out. We're all going to cook to death. I don't know. Don't feel like cooking outside here, but yeah. Southwest, Lower Michigan. Hey, yep, you're right. It's Paul and the Chair Show. It sure is, Laura. Paul's gone down to fly a ship. He's there right now. Mark Barker's supposed to be coming up around the corner. He wants to get it. So here I am. Oh, Captain Joe's going to come in and save the day.
Save the day.
Hey, good morning, Joe. Going to come in and save the day, are you?
Yeah, I'm going to try to find out what his camera looks like. Crap.
You look almost too blue or something. Maybe just
I know, it's. I'm about to throw this camera away.
Oh, you just froze up on the camera. Yeah. Oh, there you go.
Yeah, it's setting up right now. Let's see what it'll do.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say white balance. Let's get the white balance. That's auto white balance. Take the saturation out. That looks better.
That's not so bad there now. Not
That's
so.
about what it's supposed to look like.
Yeah. What kind of camera you got?
Yeah. It's a Neat or something like that.
Oh, yeah.
eMeet Link.
Oh.
Yeah, I'm about to. It works, but it's like. But every time I turn it on, sometimes I got to turn it to anti-flicker. It'll go back and forth and everything else.
Oh.
That's what I get for not spending an extra $20.
Yeah. Yep. Well, here comes the ship around the corner. And Paul's gonna fly.
Well, I dodged a bullet today.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, I was supposed to have Lily at about 7:40. They were bringing her over.
Oh yeah, I remember.
I was gonna have her till no idea what time.
Oh.
And they finally had a little common sense because my son has the flu probably. He's here.
Yeah.
I'm sniffling and I'm getting stuffed up,
Oh,
which
great.
wouldn't be good. And then yesterday I had the PET scan, so I was radioactive.
Oh.
And they told me 12 hours is good. You should be fine in the morning. And my daughter, the nurse, finally had a little common sense today. And she said, I'm kind of worried about dad being radioactive with the baby.
Oh.
And I said, good thinking. You know, because she would have been in the pack and play most of the day. I wouldn't have fooled with her too much for a while.
Yeah.
But so now I don't have her until Friday night.
A little bit of reprieve, eh? Yeah.
Oh, thank you, Lord. Saturday is going to be a hell day, though, because they're moving and they're going to drop her off with me, and I may have her for 12 hours or something.
Mm-hmm.
But that's okay. I can deal with her, you know, because we sit here, and if she starts acting up, I put something on that has a little music sound, and she loves it, you know, and she loves the lights on the computer. And all I got to do is look at it and say, hey, I love you. And she'll start smiling and hug me and everything else.
That's
so
good.
And I'm ready to see her. I haven't seen her. I haven't watched her in about 3 weeks, 4 weeks. You know, I've only seen her maybe 3 times. That's crazy between our schedules. She looked at me on Sunday and it went like, "Who are you?" You know, then remembered and smiled. I think she was looking at me saying, "Where the hell you been?"
I'm kind of
All right.
waiting for an Amazon package. Well, I needed some white glue for the model railroad. And these containers are 32 fluid ounces of glue, white glue. And
Right.
they're like, they want anywhere from $15 to $18 for it here at the stores and stuff. Even online, they're about $15 at Walmart. Anyways, I'm just scanning around and I looked, they had a 32 ounce bottle for $7. I'm like, what?
Is
So
that clear glue?
We'll see if they get the right one to come in today.
That's the clear one, right?
No, it's not clear one. It's a white glue. I'm okay with white glue. It's after dark. You don't see it anyway. It's what I use it for.
Well, I've always used the white glue. It works.
Oh yeah, it works fine. Actually, I'm more used to the white glue. I am the clear glue. You know, for seeing and the mixture. But the problem, but I don't know why. If you go to another ad within Amazon, they're like $14, $15 a piece. Well, I got 2 of them for $14, right? I just went, wow, I'm gonna grab that. So hopefully, and it says it's 32 ounces. I double checked and went, oh, geez, yeah, I got to grab it at that cost. It's got to be a little freaking price error or something.
Well, it might just be the brand.
Well, it's the same pages. No, nothing's changed. It's the same glue. I checked other spots on the website on Amazon. The same glue, but well, this one's more expensive. This one's cheaper. There's nothing on the wording or anything that changes. It's just a cheaper price. Kind of weird.
You'll know when you get it.
Yeah. So we'll see today when it comes in.
Well, the way my bucket list works is if this Marine Corps thing comes in and it comes in the right way, I'm planning on next year buying a house.
Yeah.
And I want to make sure I have at least an extra bedroom. And that extra bedroom would be just for an office.
Yeah.
And then one side of it where I can put, I love it big enough, like a good size, not a master bedroom, but pretty good size. That I could put like a green screen wall so that I could set it up to take pictures there.
Today, no cops available to attend. They are busy other places.
You know, I'd love to have a green screen set up all the time to be able to sit my granddaughter on a little stool or something and take pictures like that. Or bring somebody in and take a picture there, you know?
Wow.
I'd love to have that big enough. If I had a bedroom like I had at my house, it was it was 12 by 21.
Yeah.
That would be big enough to do exactly what I want. And then if I have the room, I would love, I've got a 4 foot by 8 foot plan out for a N-gauge train set.
Oh yeah.
And it's I've already got the whole thing set up. And I would love to make a 4 foot by 8 foot one and just take my time and build it.
Yeah. 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 Edward, hopefully it's not 3.2. Like I said, I'll find out when it gets delivered today. It's out for delivery, I think, right now. So be interesting. But you know, one of the funny things is my granddaughter there, she wanted this thing from Brick and Lego. It's a 3D puzzle thing. It's a parrot. Anyways, but she wanted a pink one. So anyways, you know, I just talked through my son. So anyways, I'll get it on Amazon. Well, anyways, went on Amazon. They have it, but I can't get it delivered till after Christmas. But if I pay an extra $20 in shipping, I can have it tomorrow.
That's the way they work.
$4 item. If I pay extra $20 for shipping, they'll ship it tomorrow. Like, really?
Yeah, I was sitting here about a week ago and I said, I don't even have a Christmas present. So I usually go on QVC and go into the the areas and just look at like the gift things they have. Because a lot of times for under $50, you can get 4 things.
Yeah.
And it's usually pretty nice stuff. That's the easy way to go. Because I tell everybody, I'm not spending, my kids are a little bit different. I'll buy them something. But in this year, I'm giving them all, and Justin, I gave him the GPS for the police car. Because he had my GPS and wanted it back. So I just gave him one. And it was a good price. But my daughter, I'm gonna just give her like a $50 gift card to go out and eat. Because her and her boyfriend go out and eat a lot.
Yeah.
And then same thing with my other son and his wife. I'm gonna try to find something for their house, but I don't even know I'm gonna give it to them in time.
Yeah.
I told them because they're moving in the house, and I told them, I said, find something you want. And they kind of already said, well, you've already given us stuff for the other house,
Yeah.
But what I did is I found tumblers, and they were really nice, metallic looking.
Yeah.
And it was bright metallic, and it was different looks in them. They had 12 different looks. So 8 of them came in yesterday, and I got 4 coming in today. And that gives me 12 gifts, and I get to go down the list and pick the color who I want to give it to.
Oh, there you go.
And it cost me, let's see, they were like $120 total.
Yeah. Huh.
So that's good. I could deal with that.
Yeah, my sister said it's a good time to go rob a bank. Some guy is at the courthouse on Sunset Drive, has a hearing today. A Ministry of Labor officer heard him say he's going to go disarm an officer today. He said no cops available to attend. There are busy other places right now. Yeah, go rob a bank right now. Nobody around to chase you. But anyways, you want to say good morning to Mark White, JDS. And
good morning, everybody. I haven't looked at the chat.
Yeah. There's a few that just came in the last few minutes, sir, but
JDS, Laura, Jonathan Jackson, family.
Yeah.
Frank Rizzo, Jody, Mark, Edward, AZ, W.
And anybody wondering where Paul is? You should be able to see him around here flying, maybe. Usually about this height, or sometimes a little bit higher, but Paul would definitely be on that ship right now, flying. So, the Mark Barker. Oh, did I see something going in behind the ship? No, that was a bird, I guess. And it flew up. But kind of looking to see if I can see Paul flying around there or not. Yeah, time you can catch him because of the weight of the ship. You'll see it go by or whatever, right? So, but he'll be definitely flying that thing right now. I don't know if I can see him fly around there or not. Yeah, we're on HD, so it should be good. So, Paul, where are you? Normally he's sitting in around here someplace as the ship goes by. He just sits there and hovers there while the ship goes by. He gets that one shot going down side, but okay, where are you, Pollywog? They're backing out a little bit. He's probably in this line here where you can't see him in all the darkness. But the odd time he has a strobe on, so. And you get to see it flash every once in a while, but I'm having any luck. Right at the bottom of the screen, you can almost be able to see Paul down there, but there's a vehicle there, I think. No, that's not his vehicle. Could be right below it. Anyways. Yeah. Okay, where are you, Paul? Maybe his hands are frozen. He couldn't get it up. It's too cold out. Yep, there's Paul's truck right there, and he's sitting in front of it, down at the bottom right-hand corner. So, flying that ship. That's his white truck with him sitting in front of it on his chair. So
he should be coming down that side right now, the way he flies. Yeah. Unless he's going around the back already.
Yeah, something like that. You would think so right now, but hard to spot,
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah.
I was flying around a tugboat yesterday or day before yesterday with Johnny and came up and I saw a little spot going in front of him. I just had to let him go.
Paul fly twice around. Go northbound.
He
And
goes around twice.
yeah. Sometimes it's only once if they're downbound because they're moving fairly quickly, right? But
Well, he's going against the current.
yeah, he's going against current, but going north, yeah, this way here, he's normally there, but it's not too windy today, so he should be not too bad for flying, but he's pretty well given up on flying that hotel now because, you know, it doesn't do very good in the wind, right? He's kind of given up on it.
What he needs is a Mavic 3.
Yeah.
That Mavic 3 will handle 30-mile-an-hour winds.
Well, even that Air 2S he got, it held all big winds. It was really windy was yesterday, or I think it was, and he was out there flying around there, no problems, right? So
I put the Air 2S up in 30.
yeah.
Now
Well,
he should be in the front.
and it should be coming down the side because then he comes around. He
Yeah.
comes this side, and then as the ship's going past the bridge, he does a pull away. So, but it's always hard to see because of the bridge abutments, right? But I don't know. Thought I would see
I
him.
don't see him.
No, I haven't been able to see him. What's that right there? Up there by the
No.
thing. Ah, there he is right there.
No.
He's coming down the
There he
side.
Yeah,
Ah,
that's him.
there he is. Right there. Yep. We've seen him fly. Go.
He's coming down the other side.
Yep. He's coming around to the back and he'll do a pull away, I think.
As long as he doesn't do a pull away and go up, we're good.
Well, he does that. He does a pull up and a pull away, but he goes back towards the bridge. Always makes me nervous when he does that, but
Yeah, because he's kind of high right now.
yeah.
Yeah, he's higher than usual.
Yeah.
I'd say he was about 15 feet higher than he usually is.
He
But I don't know if you can see this.
oh,
Right
okay.
there.
Yep.
That's the board I built years ago. That's Engage,
Okay.
and that's 3 foot by 5 foot.
Okay. Wow.
Yeah, that's 3 foot by 5 foot. And right in front of the train station,
Yeah.
right in front of the train station, it's 3 tracks like that.
Oh, hey, there you go. Wow.
Yeah, it's 3 tracks like that. That's all Engage. But what I want to do is I want to do a 4 by 8, and it's
Yeah.
going to have like 3 main tracks that that you can run at one time, and you could sync them out. That's what I want.
Yeah.
That you can run the 3 all the time. But then I want to do a roundhouse somewhere, you know, a roundabout thing for them, like
Yeah.
to be able to move them in, back them in, and everything,
Yep.
and have
Turn
a little
it-
yard and the whole works.
Yeah. Well, it's really unlimited, but yeah, you just got some. Wow, this stuff I've had for a little while, but see this here? So like it's like a tree branch.
Right.
But what you do, you take clumps of that model railroad, they call it clumps, and you put glue on it and then put them on and make sure.
Yeah, it's like moss. It's like Spanish moss type.
Yeah, and you put it. You know, see these things here, you can bend them. It's got wires in them, so you
Right.
can make it full. But
Yeah, you got the bigger ones though, you see, because I have all those little bitty ones.
yeah,
What you do is what I did, let me tell you how I did it. I went and took a drill and figured out where I wanted the trees. So
Yeah.
I drilled a little bitty holes, just about a quarter an inch on each one. And I went out and I found sticks, and I got regular sticks, regular off trees,
yeah,
and cut them to the size I wanted. And then I took Spanish moss and made them like the trees.
yep.
Sprayed them, and they came out perfect.
Well, see these ones here, I made them
Yeah, those
yesterday.
look good.
But you know what they are? They're off an old Christmas tree. Cut the ends off them to make trees. But
I know, it works.
but what you do is can of hairspray, the cheapest brand you can get, the stickiest stuff. And what you do is you spray it, then you sit there and sprinkle grass on it, like that, shake it off, spray it one more time, and then the tree's done. And it makes it look more real than,
Right.
just the little plastic things, whatever. Yeah, that's all you do. They're simple to make. I made them in, I don't know, an hour. All them.
Yeah, I took the Spanish moss and just broke it up and everything, and then I used gloves and a stop, and I sprayed it with green and shook them up so they wouldn't stick. And then when I took them in bunches and just kind of and put them in place, and then the paint would stick it together.
Yeah, yeah.
And I glued it on the end of it, and they all came out nice.
Yeah. Well, see,
The
that
problem is now after 20 years, they're starting to break up.
Yeah, well, see, the box right there, I got the hairspray and I got everything inside. I just spray it and then sprinkle it. And it comes up really nice. And hairspray really holds, really, well, they don't get disturbed, right?
Right.
A lot, you don't touch them a lot, you just, they'll stay like that forever,
Well, if I do decide to build this big one, like I said, I got all of the diagrams set out, all the wiring. It's all on a blueprint.
Yeah.
So once I get all of that working, and then decide on how I'm going to have everything, I'm gonna take the board and paint it green first to give it a flat look, and then work off of that.
Yeah.
That way you don't have anything you have to go back and try to paint. At least you have a base color.
Yeah.
And then what I'll do in some places, if I know around tracks and that, I'll probably put the stuff down before I put everything down hard, and put little lines, and then maybe put a little brown in there to make it look like dirt.
Yeah.
Just to underneath,
Oh,
and then
yeah.
once I get everything in place, then I'm gonna go through. And what I really think for the trees and stuff, I think I'm gonna, because you could buy some trees already made that will last forever,
Mhm.
and they really look good. So I think what I'm gonna do in that case, because it's the last time I'm doing it, it's gonna be handed down. That's probably what I'm gonna probably do, is get the ones that will stay there and won't break up.
Well, but you go on, what is that, Alibaba, or what's that other one? It's another Chinese company. But anyways, you can get that stuff dirt cheap. Like
Temu.
No, not Temu. There's another one there, AliExpress.
AliExpress.
Yeah, and they're good. They deliver. They're honest, and believe it or not, but their products are cheap. I buy traffic lights here. You go to the store and you got a package of 2 of them for $15 or $20. Shit, I can get 20 of them for $10 through AliExpress, but they might take a month to get here. That's all. Like, I got so much extra lights because, well, I almost got too many because, because it's so cheap to buy there. Yeah, N scale is smaller than HO. It's the next size down.
Yeah, I like just because of how small it was, and it didn't take up a lot of space.
Yeah.
But I tell you,
Yeah,
my cousin,
and you can get a lot of running area in a smaller space than you can HO.
my cousin Bobby,
Mhm.
is no way to get them from him, and it will never happen. His son don't even want them,
Yeah.
and his son, when Bobby passes, all his son's going to do is sell them because they don't mean anything to him. But he's got the original O-gauge Lionels. The Lionel O-gauges, he's got the originals like that from way back.
Well, that's
they're
money now.
They're all boxed up, all working in perfect condition.
Yeah.
He won't even let you look at them. He won't even open them up.
Yeah.
He'll take them out about I think he takes them out about every other year, just
Yeah.
to put them on a track and turn them on,
This is N-gauge
See,
here.
I like that myself.
Yeah. It's down there. That's my coffee table, right? You can there's just one track, but it's all connected. So like it goes around like 3 times before it gets back to its original spot. It's the way it's set up.
But let me ask you a question. How easy is it to access the train?
I got to take the glass top off.
Yeah, that's what.
It's heavy, but yeah, you can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The only thing I'd be worrying about is if the baby, if she's looking at, hits the thing and knocks the train off, then you got to pick it up to put it back,
Yeah. Thought about getting a couple of those big suction cups put on it and you squeeze them and you can pick the
Right.
glass up a lot easier. You're trying to get along the edge with a piece of wood to flip it up because you don't want to use metal; it'll break, right? So, hey, guess who's back?
Yeah, I would love to do the 5 foot by 8 foot. It's gonna be 4 by 8. That's what it's gonna be, 4 by 8.
That
And I would love to have it with a top like that on there, so to keep the dust off up and everything.
Yeah.
They had a guy that had a hobby shop here in New Orleans, and he had it was a 10, might have been a 10 foot by 16 foot layout.
Yeah.
And the layout was built on one side of his hobby shop, and just the way, because it did in the corner, it came around the corner so you could sit right here and it'd be on both sides of you.
Yeah.
And he had it where he had plexiglass coming around it, so you could see everything. And he had the outside doors where you could open the doors and reach in and do your stuff. And it wasn't far enough out that you couldn't get to the back. That was the problem.
Yeah.
The back section you couldn't get to.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he had doors on both sides, and everything was sealed in. And he had a flat part here, and then it went out to the sides, and so he could run his train all the way around.
Now, see, this is my turntable here, right?
Right.
But I got an RDC. It comes onto it like that. It's all computer controlled. It comes on there and knows where to stop. Okay, and then it'll start going around to another track. No, it's programming at this point here, but it goes around and comes up to the next spot, stops there. But there's a bit of a delay on it, but anyways, it will go in on that other one. I was still programming it because there's a timing issue of that turntable. Depends if it's at the head end or the tail end of the turntable, right? So
Right.
it counteracts for that. I'm just still trying to figure out, because there's no actual software for that. You have to actually build it yourself, the software, like to tell it what to do, right? So, but anyways, that's what I'm working on anyway. So
yeah, that'd be cool right there.
Yeah. But
hey, Paul.
Hey, you're muted, Paul.
Yeah, good morning, everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went down
Worried
and
about you.
I went and got the Mark W. Barker.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
We were worried about you. We saw you come down the side of that ship, and you looked like you were higher than normal. And I said, I hope he doesn't go up any higher.
Actually, that's 250 feet up there. And the highest I flew today was 120 feet.
Yeah, that's a good way to know.
Yep, Mark W. Barker. That's a newer one than usual.
I went and did a different, I don't know, called background screen for your computer.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I got it here. It's kind of cool. Train come up around the curve down there in BC.
That's nice.
Yeah, Canadian Pacific. Yeah.
Nice, nice, nice.
Yeah, something different.
Yeah. Oh, man.
And I looked up, and they had this woman on TV talking, and I looked at her and I went, damn, she's pretty. Yeah. And I looked at her real good, and I said, she looks familiar. And they threw her name on her, and I had to go look her up. Boy, she is pretty.
Yeah. Who's that?
It's just a woman that was doing an interview on TV with Matty Kern, one of the other announcers I know.
Mm.
I was hoping she was going to be a new correspondent. So I know most of them.
How'd you ever make out that splitter and, for the D-Link and all that? Did you get that all done?
Oh, yeah, I got it set up, and it's working better.
Yeah? Yeah.
Although it's got the the glue on the back to hold it in place on the side of my desk, and it keeps falling.
Oh, yeah.
So I'm gonna have to put screws in it, and it's sitting where it's not gonna hurt anything. So I ain't worried about it right now.
Yeah, yeah.
It's better to leave it on the floor than let it keep hitting the floor.
Yeah, true.
And it's right on the side between the gates, so it's nothing's gonna bother it. So
What? How'd you
when I
know?
get ambitious.
Ed?
Yeah, when I get ambitious, I'll get under my desk and mount it under the desk.
That's my favorite place to mount stuff.
Under that.
Yeah, we saw that. We saw that. Yeah, under my desk on the backside, because my desk does an L shape. Backside underneath my desk, everything's underneath screwed into it.
Yeah, under the underneath. Yeah.
Out of sight, out of mind, right?
Right, and then when I got the new system in, and I rearranged everything, instead of having wires run across the desk, I drilled holes through the desk to run the wires straight down.
Yes. I've done that a few times, have them at the back and just run them straight down in through the desk.
Yeah, I just bought one of those things to dig into it with the big holes.
Yeah.
It just made me a 1-inch hole, and put everything through it. My problem is I got too much little junk on this desk, and I cleaned it up about every 3 months, and then all of a sudden it's back to the same place.
Huh.
It happens during football season, because then I start putting stuff here I'm working with, and then I get it. I got one area that's clean, the rest of it's like, argh. Justin would be itching.
Oh,
Yeah, if Justin saw my desk, he'd probably have a fit, because he says he cleans his. He wants everything clean. Now it's clean, but it's cluttered.
yeah, clean but cluttered. Yeah. It's like me, I got so much shit, don't know what to do with it all. I'm trying to get some of the stuff on the model railroad because I got so many like trees and stuff I've been making, but I got to do landscaping first on the layout before I put the trees in, because trees are like the last thing you go in.
I'm gonna make you laugh. I got everything on my desk, from handcuffs
Oh my God.
to a pistol, to extra ammunition, to back in the back's all the wires and cuffs, extra DVDs. Then when my hands hurt, and I got my boob squeeze ball.
Oh, hey, there you go.
You know,
You got to have two of them, and you hold them up here.
yeah. I was squeezing one yesterday, and Justin said, "What is that, a boob?" I said, "Yeah, you catch them at Mardi Gras."
Yeah.
That's the pluses of being at Mardi Gras in New Orleans.
Yeah.
You could either catch one or see one.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, Paul Hodges. Not Hodges, Paul Murray.
Murray.
Yeah.
I had a reprieve today. I was supposed to have the baby at 7:30, so God knows when. And they decided they didn't want to bring her over based on the fact that I could still be radioactive, which is a good thing for me.
They walk up to you like this going.
Probably a good thing all around, you know?
Oh, right back. I just grabbed my coffee.
Well, I was going to take a picture and have my son take a picture of me in the dark and then put a glow around me and show him, look at me, you know.
That's why you had the blue.
Well, the other thing you could do as a joke, Joe, is you could get a picture of you in a hazmat suit.
Yeah,
There
I might still have one.
you go.
I have one in the back, probably in a box. Or have a light bulb and put it in my mouth and it turn on.
Right?
They have those. That'd be funny. That would be an easy picture to make. You just take a picture of light bulb and make it look like it.
Like make it look like it's in your mouth, yeah.
I might do that and say, y'all made a good call because I am still radioactive, and send it to them today.
There you go. Can't have much more fun than that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have fun today. If it warms up a little bit, it's gonna be a nice day. Today is the last nice day for 5 days. I'm getting a drone out.
How are you?
Yeah, I'm going fly. Actually, I might just run out to Slide. I don't want to run it for. I might run to Slidell and try to catch a couple of trains.
Were you going flying with Johnny or what?
Now Johnny's the other way. I might see if he wants to go to Manchaca around 1:30. But around that time, his grandkids come home, and he usually stays around for that.
Oh, okay.
But between, let me see what time they run today. They have the app for the Amtrak's. Let's see.
Ed Hessick, how you doing, Ed? And Jonathan. JDS, I see, popped in, and so did Frank Rizzo. Mark White. W. Drones. Daryl.
Yep. Laura was there, but she had to go.
Yep. Ed Hessick, yeah. Most all the regulars.
Yeah, today the Amtrak 59 City of New Orleans will be right there at Manchac around 2:40.
Wow, that'd be cool in the city of New Orleans. That's
Yeah, I've got a few of those. I've been out there at Manchac and caught them before. That's 59, and then coming the other way, the City of New Orleans going to Chicago gets over there for about 1:30.
yeah.
And sometimes, if you're lucky enough, in between that, you'll catch a freight train, a Canadian national freight train. Will come
Yeah.
through.
Or
And
take
it's just, we had
wait.
one with, I think it was a tanker train. I think it had 86 tankers.
Ooh. Yeah, seeing about some lines that are going down into the lower part of the US there a while back. I think they got more
But if
trains down there than they do here in Canada.
if you go over the Highway 11 in Slidell the opposite way, I can't get, there's only like, I think it's like 1:00. No, 11 o'clock or one, like, I think it's 1:00. The Crescent Limited goes through, and that's going towards Biloxi, Mississippi, and then comes back at 7 at night. But in between there, you have a couple of freight trains, but you don't really have a time. It's when they got one. And if you can go out there or go down around the Wrigley's bridges or the Chef bridges, I went down to the Chef Pass Bridge because there's a train bridge and then there's the regular bridge. And as I drove up the train bridge, there was going across it, so I missed it. And that was about 1:00 in the afternoon. And that thing, I guarantee you, it had 150 cars on it. It looked like.
Yeah.
And that would be so beautiful because it's like a 5-tier bridge that goes across the Chef area.
Yeah.
It's all rusty and everything else. And you get one of those real big trains out there, you could just fly the train for 15 minutes.
Oh, yeah. But even here, like we got trains here in Canada, not as big as what you guys run in the US. But even I find that, somebody will fly a train and they just sit there and got the camera sitting there and the train just going by like for, 10 minutes, 15 minutes. Like, you kind of lose interest after about 2 or 3 minutes. So, cars are cars as far as I'm concerned. I think the more interesting stuff is the engines.
No.
So.
And then the other side is the Chef Pass and the Wrigley's Pass. Wrigley's Pass is a little bit wider. And the train, from where it used to be a beautiful bridge at Wrigley's. And I've got pictures right before they dismantled it and put a high-rise bridge over it. And they actually shipped that bridge to Japan. A person in Japan bought it.
No kidding.
And oh yeah, it was right next to Fort Pike. Beautiful bridge. I got pictures of the bridge with Fort Pike, and it's just Unbelievable pictures.
Mm.
But the Chef Pass train bridge, it's the same track that goes out the other way through Waveland and all of that. I said, wonder if I could fly to get out there because you could see it, but it's kind of far.
Yeah.
When I got the measurement on it, it was 5 miles.
5
I
miles.
said,
Wow.
well, that's not happening, you know? So a friend of mine that goes fishing out there a lot, he said, in the spring or summer, we're going to go fishing. He said, bring your drone. He said, "I'll get you out by the bridges out there because you could catch anything from speckled trout to flounder to sharks if you're getting away, to stingrays to redfish to tarpon. Tarpon come through there, everything.
Wow.
So it's like a big waterway from the Gulf into Lake Pontchartrain. And I've
Is it-
actually caught a tarpon up in there before.
What is
It
it?
was a little
Salt?
small one, but I caught them.
Is it salt
And,
water?
but I want to get out by those bridges. And that one's like, I think it's like, you know how the bridges have the deals where they just keep going like humps? It's got like 8 humps.
Joe,
Oh.
is that brackish water, fresh and salt, or what?
Lake Pontchartrain is brackish. It's
Okay.
salty, but it's not as salty as the Gulf. You can taste the difference.
Yeah.
But the Gulf comes through Wrigley's Pass. The further it gets into close to New Orleans, the more brackish it becomes.
Yeah.
But coming through Lake Bourne, it's salt. There's Lake Bourne. It comes from the Gulf to Lake Bourne through the Wrigley's Pass into Lake Pontchartrain.
And that's the
And
reason
once
you've got saltwater fish in there, right?
Oh yeah, you got saltwater fish, and you could actually all the marsh areas that branch off of that waterway, you can catch freshwater fish in because it's more brackish. Once it hits that marsh, it gets all that salt out of it.
Okay.
But he wants to get out there. He's got a nice boat. He's got like a 20-foot boat. And he said, just bring your drone. We'll come out there and do some fishing. And when the trains come, he said, you could throw the drone up and get your train. And that way you're here and you don't have to fly it that far.
Cool.
Yeah.
And as long as we're not moving with the boat, I don't think we got a problem, you know?
Yeah. You know, I always thought that a saltwater fish is a saltwater fish. A freshwater fish is a freshwater fish. But yet, like say I know the West Coast, you got the salmon come in from the Pacific. They come up the streams right into freshwater to lay eggs, right?
Right. Well, when I was stationed in Beaufort, North Carolina, the water there is the same like Louisiana type. When you get out towards the Gulf, the Atlantic area, it's you got all that salt. But then once it starts coming in, it becomes brackish.
Yeah.
But the streams coming in right off of it are still salt. And I remember catching this thing was no wider than about maybe 35 feet. This one little stream that came through up by Paris Island, and a lot of people used to fish there. We were catching redfish, speckled trout, croakers, and they had one of the areas in the point. I took a little piece of croaker, and I said, "I'm gonna see if I catch me a big redfish down there," and threw it. And all of a sudden, that pole started bending, and I mean, this water started going crazy where it hit. And when I finally got it to where we could see what it was, I had a 5.5-foot shark on it.
Yeah.
That's how big he was.
Wow.
We got him up to the side, looked at each other, and cut the line. Said, "Go, you can go," because he was as big as us.
Yeah. Wow. No, yeah, it was funny because I don't know if you guys have different licenses down there, but here in Canada, you got to have a saltwater license and a freshwater license if you're, depends where you're fishing. And there's the government draws in the water. It says, okay, this is freshwater, this is saltwater. So,
the same thing. You're back in 2015. I said, I'm gonna go ahead and get a lifetime fishing license because it was a deal, like $50.
well, here
So
in
I went
Canada,
ahead and got it.
Yeah, here in
It's a
Canada.
lifetime.
Oh, okay.
It's hunting and fishing lifetime.
Yeah. Here in
Guess how many
Canada,
times I've been fishing since?
here in Canada, if you're over 65, you don't have to buy a license. A fishing
Well,
license. License, you still got to buy it, but fishing license, no.
Well, I think they stop it at in Louisiana. I think they used to stop it, but now I don't think it stops till you're like 75. But I got this one because it's hunting and fishing, and it cost me like $50, and I've had it now for 8 years. And in 8 years, guess how many times I've fished?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Maybe 10 times.
yeah. Well, it's like
That's why the fishing pole's in the car now.
yeah, it's like about a year ago. I got rid of my fishing boat. I had a lot of money tied up in it, but I wasn't using it. That's how often I fished, right? I thought it was cool to have one, and I could go out in the lake for the bigger fish because I could go way out, 5 or 8 miles out there, and had downriggers on it and everything else. But yeah,
I can't remember the last time I caught a
was
fish.
surprised,
When we were flying the drone on Monday, I looked over and the water was pretty nice. I grabbed the pole out and threw about 10 casts out. Didn't get any hits. So I said, that's enough. Put it up. Because I went out there the last time we were out there before. I threw about 3 or 4 casts and I got 1 hit. So something bumped it.
Yeah.
So they've got. If you catch it it was a little cold, I think. If you get it in the summertime and around that tugboat, I bet you catch some speckled trout.
Yeah.
That tugboat's a natural reef.
Yeah, it would be. Yeah, it would be. The only thing we got to worry about here in our lake, because we got a shallow lake, but a lot of fisheries around here got nets out, and they're like, 500 feet long with a buoy up on each side, and the net down in between. So you got to watch for them all the time. They're trolling around or whatever, right?
Especially when you're trolling around at nighttime.
Well, yeah, and you got downriggers and you're just off the bottom or whatever, right? And you got to get hooked up on them. You just basically cut the line and take your loss,
I got to start looking at the chat. I got people asking me questions. I do have footage, Edward, on that tug. I'm going to put it in the chat. Hold on.
Yeah.
And I am retired, Jonathan. The problem is I've worked harder now since I've been retired since before. I work more now.
My dad said after he retired, he was so busy, he said, when did I ever have time to go to work?
Yeah, I'm sitting here right now and I'm saying I'm getting antsy because it's like I want to take a break, but I want to go fly. I want to go do this. I want to go this. I finally got the approval on the posters for the boys this morning. I've been after the coach for 3 days, and he finally said, yeah, they're good. So I put them in real quick so they'll get back before Christmas. But it's like, and I have nothing to do today or tomorrow, and I'm like antsy, like something's wrong. That's how I feel. Like something's wrong. I got to go do something.
Yeah, you don't feel right when you're sitting doing nothing, right? So
sometimes I feel right, but today I don't. Let me find that footage for Edward. I'll put the flight that I flew on Monday with Johnny. Come on, get out of that. I don't like that. Yeah, that's the footage on the tugboat on Monday. We go out to the lighthouse so much. I told Johnny, I said, I got to make it look different. And so I emphasized the tugboat. Then I went to the lighthouse and flew it a little bit. Then I came back and did the VADA around the tugboat on the same video. Yeah. And Jonathan, yes, I was EMS. I used to work my butt off. I worked for American Medical Response and West Jeff EMS. And I used to run sometimes 13 calls in a 12-hour shift.
That's quite the old relic, eh?
Yep.
Quite
Yeah, I'll get to.
where you want to
I'll
go,
put
just
the.
go knock right off.
Well, we were gonna fly through the little pilot house,
Oh yeah.
but I got up on it and I looked at it, and they got 6 wires hanging down up in there.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And then when I decided I could come in from the back, I got real close to it and got a high wind warning. I said, nope, because you could see the waves, just the wind on the water.
Yeah, 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 yeah.
See, and this is the lighthouse. This is the reason I bought the drone, this lighthouse.
Yeah.
I wanted to fly a drone around the lighthouse.
Yeah.
And our
Wow.
first day out there flying the
That's
drone
great.
around the lighthouse, an eagle came out of those trees.
Yeah. That's pretty loud. Eh?
Yeah, this footage right here is going to look nice.
What's that smoke way in the background?
Oh,
Oh, there was
fire.
a house fire way back there.
Okay.
That's Gust Island Road.
Now, see, there's a problem right there. You know, bright sunlight, you know? Like, look at that long
Right.
shadow. You know?
Well, I left it that way because I figured if I had to have a shadow, I'd put it on the top, you know?
Yeah. That's
But
why, you know,
this
like I live by
this
the
shot I
block.
liked.
Yeah.
This shot right here I really did like.
Yeah.
The way I came down on it, and then I did a little reveal.
Yeah. Is that still an active light flashing in there?
It is. It is.
Very nice. I like that. Yeah.
I did like a double reveal. I think I did another little bit of an orbit, I think. Then I came back. I'll know in a minute. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah.
But that's 2,000 feet from where we fly.
Oh, is it? Yeah.
From that to the shore where we're at.
Huh?
Right at like 1986 or something like that.
Huh?
And then I'll transition here. I'll go into the Ovada around the tugboat. And then there was a boat that Johnny said, there's a boat. So I peeled off and went after the boat and almost wound up in the water. The wind caught it and started drifting it, and it was dropping me down. You could see the drift in it.
Yeah.
But this is the one where I was getting ready to go through it right there. But there's 5 wires hanging down.
Oh, yeah.
And you'll see those 2 pieces of rebar that came up.
Yeah.
I came around one time
Yeah,
and missed that
wire.
one in the front by about 2 inches.
Yeah. I can see a wire hanging down the center there.
Well, that's one, but watch how low I get to the water. This is where the wind caught me. Right there, as I said, oh, hell no, come back. Because I was getting high wind warnings.
Yeah. Hey, there you guys are. Cool.
Yeah, but we try to fly there. That's our secret spot, 100.7.
Huh?
That's Johnny's Air 3 right there.
Yeah.
And
Cool.
to the left, you can't see it, but that little camp like house there,
Yeah.
the guy owns there and lives there.
Oh. Very nice. Like that.
Yeah. I'd love to live there.
Yeah, you want to go fishing, just walk over a little bit and throw a line in the water.
You just throw it from he's got a, what you call it, like a walkway around there. You could just fish from him.
Yeah. Well,
No. Let's see something. Loki, stop.
Well, Jonathan, there's two different kinds of handcuffs. When I was doing EMS, there was soft cuffs and then there were hard cuffs. The hard cuffs usually we got from the officers when we were on site. The soft cuffs were just like leather or something.
I didn't have handcuffs. I had a 5-cell Maglite.
Yeah. You know what worked
That
well for
link-
me? I got into a tussle with an idiot in the back of the ambulance, and we were screaming down the road, heading for the hospital. And
Yeah.
he that was a high top Cadillac. He got to the door, and the door swung open, and I reached over and I grabbed a 3-pound sandbag, you put on each side's head, whacked him, and he went down, and I jumped across him.
I took a guy down. I used to take the 5-cell, it was about that long, and I'd hold it right here with the light on them at nighttime. And if they get close to me, I just push them back. Let's back up.
Yeah.
Back up a little bit, That's it. Because I could hit you with it too. Back up,
Yeah.
That link I just put in there was a picture of the tugboat back in 2018.
Yeah.
Before they decided to make a bonfire with Christmas trees on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the link I just put in there. It's on Instagram.
Oh, yeah. Oh.
Yeah,
It used to be
Joe, you were an
majestic looking, even
EMT.
though it was down.
Joe, you were an EMT, right?
Right.
And so was I.
They did that for 3.5 years.
I did
When I
it
was
for
at-
about 2 years, but that was
When I
back.
at-
That was back way in the beginning, way back when.
yeah, that's when they first started.
1970, 71, something like that.
Yeah, when I worked for American Medical Response, we used to run, depending on the shift, they ran a lot of contract calls, but we ran 911 also. But then I worked for West Jefferson Hospital 911 service, and that was a 13-hour shift. And it was not unlikely that we wouldn't run 16 calls.
Yeah.
You knew you were going to be working when you
Yeah.
got there. And 911 service, 80% of trauma. You might get a broken arm or something like this, but most of them are going to be stabbings, gunshots, overdoses, attempted suicides.
And a lot of it was a lot of my calls were stupidity,
Oh, most of them are.
I remember getting called up to Lakeport. We go up there. It was on a holiday weekend, lights and siren, and get up there, and here's a guy laying on the rocks. And what did he do? He got up and was trying to do a selfie on the rocks with a big camera, and lost his balance and fell over backwards onto the rock. What an idiot!
Wow.
And then the other one, you get a call. We get a call from the police and show up, and you got a crazy lady in the house, and they don't want to approach her. So we approach her and get her handcuffed to the stretcher and tied down and strapped in. And she's yelling at my partner who's riding in the back and I'm driving. She's yelling about, "You're the devil, you're the devil." And he finally just turned around and looked at us. "Yes, I am. And don't you ever forget it." She calmed right down.
Yeah.
And my son and them had a call the other night. Jonathan asked me, "Why do I have handcuffs?" He said, "Am I expecting an intrusion?" I told him, I said, "You never know when a kinky girl across the hall is going to come over. I don't want to have to look for him." But my son the other night, they had a girl that she used to live in Atlanta, and the brother lives here, and she threatened suicide a bunch of times. So she was a little mental case. She moved back here. And the other night she went in the kitchen, got a butcher knife, went and sat next to her mama and told her mama she was talking to the devil. And the devil said that she had to kill her mama.
Oh, yeah. Heard of that?
Your mama talked her down and said, "Let's go get something to eat. You put the knife down. Let's go." So she put the knife down. They got in the car, and she started heading towards the hospital to get her admitted. And when the girl realized it, as they stopped, she took off. Justin says she was like 5 foot and 100 pounds, and that was the worst fight he's ever been in his life.
A wiry little sucker.
Well, come to find out, she was on meth.
Yeah.
He said that they were in a little tight, confined place, and she did a complete roundhouse on his knee. And he said if it wouldn't have been a wall right there, she'd have blew my knee out like that. That's how hard she kicked it. He said he got so mad that her leg, he pushed her leg down. He said he hauled back and he punched her as hard as he could in the thigh. And she quit right then. You know? And then there was an older guy walk up to him and said, well, why'd y'all have to do that to that girl? And he said they were both out of breath, the police officers, two of them. And he looks over at the guy and he's huffing. He's going, you just need to take the F out of here and keep walking. He said, turn around and keep walking, just go. But he said there was the worst fight he's ever been in since he's been a police officer.
Wow. So Paul, how
always
many
domestic.
signs you got to do today, Paul?
Zip, zero, and zilch.
Oh wow.
So far. Yeah, that can change in 10 seconds, though.
You're not gonna know what to do today.
It's going to be quiet from now until after Christmas.
Well, you got pretty much all the Christmas signs pulled that want to be pulled before Christmas, right?
I think so. I might get a couple more, but I don't expect much more than that. Don't expect anything to even go up. So that's okay. I'll get some more stuff done on the layout, I guess. Maybe we'll get some more housework done around here.
Yep. It's here's what it is.
Yeah. Yeah, I took Sheila up yesterday morning up to Stratfordville. There's a guy that does laser cutting metal, like signs.
Yeah.
And, for camping and trailers and all that kind of stuff. She had 3 of them made, so they look really cool. Like they're pretty big, eh? They're all laser cut, right? Or surprised how heavy they were. Yeah, I thought they'd be almost like 10, but they weren't. It was a piece of metal, but it wasn't just sheet metal. It was a little bit stronger, like an 1/8 inch or whatever. Metal. Hey, Mr. Dan. And that JD fella.
Damn, JD.
Yeah.
I think I'm going to have to make an appointment with the neurologist
Yeah.
because this neuropathy crap is starting to really affect my hands, my wrist and my hands right now.
Yeah.
It's like somebody's just cutting into them.
Oh, that's not good.
Oh, and it's right here, right here,
Yeah.
right here, and right here on both hands.
Yeah.
I got these to take called gabapentin.
Oh, yeah.
The thing, when you take them, they'll cut the pain, but they also make you sleepy.
Yeah.
And when I was first diagnosed about a couple of years ago with this, about a year ago, a year and a half ago, he had me taking 3 of these at a time.
Ooh.
And I got used to it where it didn't even make me sleepy. And then everything went away and I stopped taking them. And now it's coming back. So I may have to start going back to that.
Yeah.
But that's I'm not gonna push it too hard right now to get the pain going because I'm in the middle of that lawsuit.
Yeah.
And I want them to make sure they know them. That's why I think I need to go back to them and tell them, look, this is what's going on, and let them update the files.
Yeah. the other day, about a week and a half ago, I had a problem. Backup generator, we lost hydro and it didn't kick on. I don't know what the hell's going on. Went out in the, of course, the rain. Ended up had to boost it off another battery to get it going. So anyways, I left it till the next day. Went in, checked the battery level, and battery's only pushing less than 11 volts. I thought, well, is it the charger in the generator doing it, or is it the battery itself? So I switched batteries out, put a deep cycle battery in, and brought the other battery in. We charged it up, got it up to 13.3 volts. I said, oh, well, nothing wrong with this battery. So yesterday, I got the meter out. I walking by the battery, and I thought, well, I'll check it again. Now it's down to 11.2 volts. So must have a bad cell in the battery. So it was the battery. So, but I went out yesterday and just went to a manual start on the generator, fired it right up. So it just had to be the battery. No. Only problem is a freaking car battery in it. You know, it's kind of weird, you know, because it's both the same engine that's in a big lawnmower, you know, and they only use little batteries, but this one had a big vehicle battery in it. And anyways, the price is like about $250 now for a battery for this stupid thing.
My daughter's got a Corolla that's giving her all kind of problems.
Yeah.
And she's actually to the point where she's going to tell them, come get the damn car.
Yeah.
You know, and because she can't drive it right now, don't want to work. And I've gone over there and worked on it, and it works for a little while, and it's got a short somewhere. We can't find it. And if she doesn't start it for like 3 days, because her whole schedule, sometimes the battery's dead, and we put a new battery in everything.
Yeah.
So she's having a fit with it, and her mom has a Dodge Nitro that's sitting at the shop now for 4 months because they need a part, and they can't get the part. And that was done. Her mom did a bankruptcy, and it was done in the bankruptcy and it was wiped off. So it's free. It's a free car.
Huh.
And it's sitting there. And like my daughter's saying, her mom gave her the car, said it's yours as soon as it's fixed. So that's why she's going to tell the people, just take the car. She's done with it because she's documented all the problems with it. And she said, I'll just take the hit on my credit, you know?
Yeah.
But and I can't wait for her to do that because it gets off the insurance too. I don't have that insurance payment anymore. But but the Nitro, they just got a part in for it and it didn't work. So they got to get another part.
Yeah. I watched a couple videos yesterday. One, they had a pickup truck. It was a 2019. They had it in the dealership, and the dealership couldn't figure out what was wrong with it. They checked everything, and they couldn't figure what the hell was happening to it. So he said he knew another guy who had a garage. He's supposed to be pretty good, so he towed it over there. The guy played with it for about 15 minutes. Found out the ground strap to the frame was broke.
Wow.
That's all wrong with it.
Well, I felt something yesterday when I started to drive, and I need to go turn my wheel and look. It's on my side. I felt a little vibration.
Mm.
And I'm just hoping it's not a CV joint.
Yeah.
Which I don't think it is because I made a couple of donuts in the parking lot and I didn't hear anything. And usually if a CV joint's going bad,
when you turn it, when you hear that rack and
you'll hear a flap or something, at least something.
Yeah.
And the CV joints are a lot better than they were 20 years ago, so they don't break as easy.
Yeah, yeah. But there was another one. It was a more expensive pickup truck the guy had in the shop there, and the dealership couldn't figure out what was wrong with this thing. So, anyways, he got it in the shop. He did some tracing, you know, with scanners and everything else. All this stuff, all these sensors were failing and everything else. You know what it was? Freaking taillight. It had got water in it, but there's electronics in the taillight now because of side marker light, digital lights, all that kind of stuff. And it was shorting out the rest of the whole fucking vehicle. And you know how much it costs to fix it? Put in 2 new taillights? No, one new taillight. It was $5,600 because you get the bare taillight, but then you got to get the components that go into it, and there's a harness and a couple plugs or something they had to change because they corroded because they got wet. But the truck wasn't that old, and it got wet and it was shorting everything out. But $5,600, like 4 hours labor altogether to figure it out what was wrong with it, and to put a new taillight in it and stuff, change out one harness connector or something. But it was $5,600 for a freaking taillight. Like $3,000 or something, $3,200 just for a freaking taillight parts. It was just unreal. Oh, really? Of course, you go to Auto Record, you get them for about $10. Well, not that tight, but we needed a lens.
My 2009 Santa Fe, about a month ago, the gas gauge started acting funny. Where all of a sudden it said I was on empty, and I knew I wasn't on empty. And I drove around a little bit, and then it kicked in and started working. So it's got to be the float. It's got to be the float in the tank.
Yeah.
So I don't want to pull a tank,
Yeah. But one time I was on a Jeep run, we were out in the bush, we were out four-wheeling, and there's a guy back there with a pickup truck, just like my Ford Ranger, and four-wheel drive. He's out there, but there's a big rock right in the middle of where he wanted to go. So they got out. There's two of them. They got out. They shut the vehicle out, got out, rolled the big rock out of the way, got back in the vehicle, and it wouldn't start. Nothing on the key. And so anyways, we come up on these guys, and one guy there, he works at Ford, and they were stuck. They didn't know what to do. They're out in the middle of nowhere, and this vehicle wouldn't start, didn't have nothing on the key. And so anyways, the guy says, put it in neutral. Why? He said, just put it in neutral and I'll start it. The fucking thing started right up. Well, what it was, the left brake light burns out. It won't start. The vehicle won't start. There's some kind of wire they had put in there. But he changed the bulb, fire right up. There's some kind of sensor. And I just went, really? You could have had that thing towed out there, cost you a couple of $1,000 or whatever.
Oh, yeah.
Then everyone else get back and find out the freaking $1 bulb.
Well, I'm looking at the video right now on a Honda Santa Fe fuel gauge not working intermittently, like mine's doing.
Yeah.
And I threw it to the middle. I'm watching what he's doing. They said it took under 2 hours. Okay.
Yeah.
I'll put it to you this way. He opened up the back hatch,
cut a hole,
everything out of there, and he's working from the top down. He's actually took the back seat out of the car.
Yeah.
Oh, hell no. I'll put it this way. I got the trip thing, and right now I'm at 3/4 of a tank, and I've done 84 miles. So if I just keep that little trip thing on and know around 150 miles, just fill it up, I'm good.
Well, I know here.
Okay, it's not that hard.
Fuel pump.
Once you get that down, the sensors are right there. All you got to do is take it off and put it back, so you don't have to drop the tank.
Yeah. What do you do? Cut a hole in the floor of the vehicle?
No, it's built right there, and all the felt is already cut out. You just move it.
Huh?
He's prying it up I would not pry it up with a screwdriver.
Yeah.
Anything to do with gas, you better have brass.
Yeah.
But he's using a screwdriver to pry the thing up.
I know, like I had a vehicle that had the, the fuel gauge. It was screwing up. There was a guy here in town can fix them, but he said if you buy the whole module, the fuel pump's included, and it's like over $400 because the fuel pump, everything. But instead of taking the tank off, some people just cut a hole over top of where the gauge is, or how they can get them out. So they just put a patch over it with some tar and seal it up when they're done.
This is actually a hole through the body.
Is it?
This big.
Oh,
Not
yeah.
that big.
Yeah.
And he's got a hole through the body, and he just lifts it off. And I can't see if it's going directly into the tank. It's got to be going directly in the tank. I'll find out in a minute. Because I'm at the meat of it. I'm just trying to see what he did, because If it's not that bad, I'll do it. No, it's not into the tank.
And a lot of it are just quick disconnects. There's a little tool you get, and you just slide it over. It disconnects the hose. You just pull it out in order to pull the module out of it, because you got to turn the ring to unlock it, and there's a gasket. I don't know.
That's what this looks like.
Yeah.
But he's got two pieces about this big he's got to take off.
Yeah.
Two different areas. And there's a switch under it. So I guess that's the switch you worry about.
I was watching one there that somebody had I think it was Toyota, but anyways, they had one of those hybrids, and they had to change the battery pack. It's in behind the seat, but ahead of the trunk. So you had to take the seats out and stuff out of the trunk and everything to undo it, get it all out, and replace the battery pack. I mean, it's a lot easier in cars that are all electric, because the floor is all the battery. This one here is just sits up on the hump there, right? Because it's a smaller battery pack. But it said those battery packs, you can go in and replace just cells, but the problem is you put a new cell inside an old cell, and you're going to be doing the same thing again in about another 2-3 months, because the other ones are going to go too. It's like a freaking headlight. When you get a vehicle, the headlight burns out. Might replace both of them, because the other one's going to burn out quick soon too.
Oh,
so
yeah. I always do that.
Yeah. Actually, I had one time I bought a vehicle, and the headlight burned out, and before I even got to the fucking shop, the other one burned out. So I went with 2 headlights not working. So.
Yeah, it looks like it's a sending unit directly on top. Yep. So it might just pop. Yeah, it looks like it just pops off. The problem is you got like 2 hours worth of labor getting into it. It's got a little tab. You hit the tab and pull it up. I think I'll stick to watching the 151 miles. I got a good friend that's a mechanic, and what I'll do is, if I get that settlement next year, I'm buying a new car anyway. I'll take that one into him, and I'm gonna say, okay, this is what's wrong with it. Fix it. You fix it. Tell me what it costs. And then I'll turn around, and if my daughter needs it, she'll get it. If not, there'll be my second car just for fishing or something. What's up, Ron?
What's nice is you have a friend that's a mechanic. I mean, the average person doesn't.
Well, I grew up with my cousin that was a mechanic, so I was under the car as much as he was. What's up, Ron?
Hey, good morning.
Hey, Ron, how you doing? Headed home?
He looks tired.
Yes, I am. Dude, I'm like, it was a day from hell.
How many hours?
25 and a half.
25 and a half, 16 calls. No.
Well, let me tell you how my day started. Is my one boss is, I mean, Brad's pretty laid back, but holy shit, I didn't expect this yesterday. Sitting in the office, and the town of Moorcroft is about halfway in between Gillette, where I was working, and my house. Both my boss and his wife run the ambulance service in this town of Moorcroft, where they live. And they're both paramedics. They're both excellent paramedics. And anyhow, the call wasn't put into 911 yet, because Brad's wife called Brad to tell him what's going on. Well, then next thing you know, the pagers go off for an unresponsive child. So here I am responding to a 2-year-old unresponsive child. That is my boss's 2-year-old. Holy shit.
Oh,
And
shit.
he was just calm as a cucumber. It's going to take me a while to get rid of that vision, but anyhow, Lexi, his wife, called us.
Oh, shit. Right in the middle of the
Hold on,
story.
you broke up.
Hang on there, Ron.
Hang on, Ron. Right in the middle of your
You
description.
broke up when you said Lexi call.
When you heard Lexi call, after that, you broke up.
Okay, you're good now.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyhow, Lexi called my boss. My boss finally calls 911. We bolt out the door. We meet. Lexi is with her mom and the baby. She's in the back seat with the baby. And we said, hey, let's meet at the Rosetta exit. And I tell you what, we come across that bridge, and I see her black Suburban sitting over there on the off ramp. And I mean, I got good vision, but even from like 75 yards away, they were getting out of the vehicle, and I could see the look on Lexi's face. Face was, and
You're breaking up again.
God damn, it's fucking phone.
You said the look on Lexi's face. You said the last thing we heard was the look. You could see the look on Lexi's face, and then it was.
Yeah. Anyhow, not worth the story. This fucking phone, I'm getting cranky and pissy. I don't know why it's not working. I got to call FirstNet today and find out why the service is going to shit. I'm getting more and more bad spots, and I don't know why. But anyhow, can you guys hear me now?
Yes.
Yep.
We got you.
Yep.
Anyhow, it just was stressful pulling up to a scene that you got the boss's wife and a 2-year-old baby that's unresponsive, and so yeah. So then we pull we get the kid and we do our thing, and we had her opening her eyes by the time we got to the hospital, and the boss, the big boss, the chaplain, the ER physician, one of the nurses, everybody's standing out in the garage waiting for us. They open up the back door of the ambulance. I'm like, oh shit, we got a welcoming party. No. But yeah. And then it just went on from there.
Yeah.
The day and the night never stopped.
So is the baby okay, or?
Yeah, we think what happened is she had a UTI a couple days ago. Yesterday morning, fever, and typical mom will, give her Tylenol. That's not abnormal. But kids sometimes, if they spike really fast or drop a fever really fast, they can have a seizure.
Oh, okay.
And it just seemed like it was taking her a while to come out of that. But the boss, when we got there, my partner was pretty upset. She was crying. She's like, oh my God, Ron, she just, it actually upset me too to see that. But I thought Brad was going to jump in the ambulance with us or get in another vehicle to go meet us. He actually went to the hospital, told the ER physician what's going on. He's like, Brad, why aren't you going? He said, Ron and Cynthia are on the call. He goes, I trust both of them with my 2-year-old child.
Yeah.
I'm like, holy shit.
Yeah, sometimes it's best not to get in the way.
Yeah. I mean, he's actually, Brad's he's a damn good paramedic. He's been around the block a couple times. So.
But when she found her unresponsive, was there any kind of movement, or just totally unresponsive?
Well, she sounded like maybe she was seizing, but when Lexi initially got to her, they said she was almost blue and she wasn't breathing, and she had to give her some rescue breathing. So, yeah.
Because my daughter was right at about a little over 2. And I walked in the room and she was sitting up in the bed, and I looked at her and I said, "Go back to sleep, baby. What's the matter?" And she was kind of in a daze, like, and I thought it was, you know, how people do. So I went to lay her down, and when I laid her down and I looked at her, both of her wrists, all I saw was about a 1/4 of an inch move, and it was simultaneously, you know. So I looked at it, I saw that the same movement, and I did a little sternum rub on her, kind of light, and I said, "You all right?" Like that, and she stopped and looked at me, and I said to my wife when she walked in, I said, "I think she just had a seizure." I said, just because of the bilateral movement, you know, like everything was right. I called the doctor the next morning. The nurse kind of like acted like I was an idiot. And Dr. Paul gets on the phone and he goes, "What did you see?" And I told him. He said, "Bring her in." So they scheduled with, they looked at her and everything, and she was fine. They put her in Children's Hospital the next day and did a scan on everything, came back and said, "Yeah, she had a seizure. You caught it." And I mean, it was so minute. I just happened to see just that little bit movement, and it was bilateral the same, you know. I wouldn't have walked in there, would have never known.
Yeah.
And that's what Dr. Paul told me. He said, "Only because it's you, I want to see her." He said, "Because I know if you saw it, it's probably what it is."
Yeah. I was supposed to take Dawn to Rapid City for a procedure today, and I talked them out of it. The roads are not safe. We got a freezing fog last night, and the roads are shit. And it took me over 45 minutes to de-ice my car.
Wow. So what's the temperature like?
25 degrees right now. But it's just, like I said, a very heavy fog, and we just as I was leaving, the day crew, one of the day crews, got dispatched for a head-on collision. It sounded pretty nasty.
Yeah, one thing about a car accident or whatever, and you know, you hear about a head on, you got to go to it, but you know, what's the first thing you do when you get there? I know you have to assess the situation, but you know, there's a lot of quick decisions are made, right?
Yeah.
You deal with this person, or what, you know?
Yeah.
It's called triage.
Have you, your ambulance service, does it have the option of calling in an air ambulance?
Yeah, we did. They tried, and all the air ambulances were grounded due to weather.
Oh. So where did they come from?
Rapid City, Hot Springs, South Dakota, Casper, Wyoming.
Yeah.
We have an airplane service in Gillette right now. We need a rotor service there.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Hey, Ron, we had one Sunday morning, we had a accident. It was a head-on in Marrero when I was working WestJet. So we pull up on the scene, and they got the fire departments there, and they've got one vehicle on the side, and they got a blanket over the vehicle. So my partner looks at me and he says, "You got the small pickup? I'll go see what's going on in that." I said, "Yeah, let me go check on this." So I'm running across the neutral ground to get to this big grassy area to get to this pickup truck. And the two guys are in leaning around, look like they got hurt. I start running and didn't realize that, you kind of just jogging through the grass. It was high grass. And I look up and I'm looking at the back of that pickup truck and it's got tomatoes in it. There were tomatoes all over that neutral ground. I hit those tomatoes. I went down, split the pants from one end to the other. Went over there. The guys, we thought the guys were dead in the other truck because of the blanket. They were fine. Nobody was hurt. I was standing there. I mean, from the front to the back, the whole thing just split apart. So we get in a unit, and I go to, we get back to the hospital, and we bring the couple of them to the hospital just to be checked out. And I go walking in, and I got a sheet tied around me. And one of the nurses looks at me. She goes, "What's wrong?" I said, "Gotta change my pants. I got to split from one end to the other." She goes, "Go sit in the waiting room over there. I'll be right there." I said, "Why are we coming in the waiting room with me to split pants?" She goes, "Shut up. Just go sit there." So she said, "Take your pants off and put a gown on." So I did that, and I didn't know what she was doing. She came in, she brought a suture set and sewed it all up for me and gave it back to her.
There you go.
I said, "Well, I didn't know what you were doing,
So, Paul, what are you doing?
Eating my Meals on Wheels.
Oh, because you spelled my name wrong.
But that was kind of embarrassing, I'm just glad that
Yeah.
I wasn't wearing whitey tighties.
I'm gonna turn my video off here. Just because it seems that my seltzer or this seems to work better if I have the video turned off.
Okay, yeah, that's fine. Yeah. Hey, you got it right this time, Paul.
There you go. Sorry about that. I was eating and typing and
Um,
Trying to multitask.
What he called you, Hall Podges?
huh? Oh, yeah,
Hall
double.
Podges?
Yeah, August. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Tough job being a paramedic, as far as I'm concerned. Like I used to drive tow truck. It was funny because my dad drove ambulance part time, and the only time I get to an accident scene, my dad was there.
Yeah.
But I remember one time I went to a head on down Bomba Hill, tractor trailer in a car, head on, and back in those days when I drove tow truck, they want you there now. They don't care how you get there, just get there because fire department didn't do any, popping doors open or anything like that. We had that kind of tools on the tow truck. And anyways, it was a fatal. So anyway, get down there. So I get there and I said to the cop, I said, "Well, you want me to yank that car out of the way?" He said, "No, you can't." I said, "Why not?" He said, "Well, take a look inside." And, guy, they're dead and deader in the doornail there. So sat there for almost 2 hours, couldn't even do nothing. Like, Jesus.
Yeah.
Because, they have coroner or whatever come down, then they got to wait for the funeral home to show up. They come get the body, and it was like 2 hours I was down there. Couldn't even touch the vehicle, but I couldn't leave. So, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I never thought EMS was a hard job. It's that it's a stressful job at times, and it depends on what you see, and you've got to learn how to not take anything personal.
Yeah.
That's the big thing.
But
when it comes to kids, when you get young kids, especially, young kids, and you got young kids at the time, because I did, it was like, it wakes you up a little bit.
But the thing is, I mentioned last night to my sister, like where I live, I'm only 3 blocks from downtown. We never used to hear the fire trucks and ambulances going, they could just like it 4, 5, 6 times a day, freaking sirens and going up Princess Ave. And I'm just going, but see up there, Princess and Talbot, they've got a freaking shelter there or whatever, where all the drug addicts live or hang out or whatever. Like they go there 5 or 6 times a day for fucking overdoses. So, but here it used to be just an ambulance go. Now the fire trucks go, and then the ambulance too. So it just seems like they're freaking sirens all the freaking time now. I used to enjoy there, but now all they hear is sirens. Just,
We actually,
Paul.
depending on the nature of the call, we'll get the fire department to respond with us. And I'll tell you what, it's not because there's a fire, but they can sometimes put a lot of personnel on that truck. And I'll tell you what, 75% of the time, it's like, boy, am I glad I have. We have a tiered system on dispatches. Alpha Bravo Charlie Delta and Echo. Delta and Echo responses are critical, and they'll dispatch the fire department with you. And our dispatch does a pretty good job. They know, like, hey, you know, if they find out we got a 400-pound patient coming off the second or third floor, they'll dispatch the fire department.
yeah,
You know,
yeah.
for
Yeah,
lifting
definitely.
and yeah.
Does the fire department have paramedics?
Yeah, they some of them actually work for us.
Okay.
There's some EMTs, there's some paramedics, but yeah, they're a good bunch of guys.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, see,
They're pretty helpful.
yeah, they have here what's called fire rescue, not, you know, the fire truck pumpers, ladder trucks, or whatever, just fire rescue. But they go out on every ambulance call now, even though they're not needed. You know, they still go out every time. But,
Right.
you know, but never used to be like that. But all of a sudden, it's almost like the American style that, you know, they go out. But I knew a chief of the fire department down there, and I was talking to him one day, and I said to him, "You guys must get tired of going out and all those freaking medical calls all the time." He goes, "Well, really, you know," he said, "with technology and everything else and fire suppression systems and that, it's actually pretty quiet. This actually gives us something to do," he says.
Yeah.
In
Because otherwise,
1992,
Problem,
EMS in New Orleans had a drastic change.
Hmm.
We had one of the hospitals on the West Bank, Joe Ellen Smith, right across from the hospital, about a block away. A kid running across the street was hit by a car. And it happened right around rush hour. And the hospital is like a block away. And the way it worked was that the main trauma system or hospital was Charity Hospital across the river about 18 miles away, about 8 miles away. And there was no units available in the vicinity to get to this kid. I mean, no units. They were pulling units off of things, trying to get them there. West Jefferson was about 7 miles the opposite way, and they had no units available. Nobody had a unit. I mean, this went on for about 4 minutes. And what wound up happening is a police car grabbed the kid. They grabbed the kid, threw him in the police car. And instead of bringing him to the hospital right there, they ran him all the way to Charity. And the kid wound up dying. And that changed EMS in New Orleans forever. Because, I mean, everybody went ballistic and saying, well, why didn't they go to this hospital when it was right there? And they came out and said, well, it wasn't the trauma hospital, which they had surgeons there and people that could have at least tried to keep this kid alive. So what wound up happening is American Medical Response said, it was Medic One at the time, Jerry, he was like the best mind in the world. He said, okay, we need to change this. Can we get the fire department to start rolling on every scene? And they said, well, they're not trained. He said, we'll train them all. So we wound up becoming American Medical Response afterwards, but Medic One, we used to have classes and train the firemen how to go on these scenes and what to do. And since then, now on every medical call that the city gets 911 services, and same thing with West Jefferson Fire Department roll also, because sometimes they could beat us to it.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the same thing here. A lot of times that the ambulance can't go, or not go right away, but a lot of times the fire rescue will get there before the ambulance. A lot of times.
And over here in St. Tammany, every 911 service is fire rescue, all attached.
Yeah.
They all run it. And they'll not only run the ambulances out, but like when my son ran for District 12, the units weren't attached to them. It was all Acadian. And Acadian would take off, but all their units had to leave too and go on all the medicals.
You see what Bill said in Atlantic Adventures? I might have ate too much the last night. Woke up at 12:10 this morning with crop circles in my peanut butter. Now they're scooping it.
Yeah, that's funny.
uh,
I'm back.
yeah. I don't know. I understand all these drug addicts need help and stuff like that, but geez, when they overdose twice in one day, getting a little bit much. They need help, but I don't think they're getting the right help. But they're tying up all the emergency services so much too.
Right.
But they've heard it's happened more than once, and they got in there and get the guy Narcan, got him out of it and everything else. And the afternoon, they're back there again doing the same thing again to him because they're overdosing, right?
Well,
Yeah, my son. Go ahead. Go ahead, Ron.
I see San Francisco's gone to hell.
Yeah.
Not just San Francisco.
Well, I heard that what was it, Seattle or something? They're saying now that they're going to repeal some of the laws that they put in place, like you couldn't charge anybody for drugs over, cocaine or any of that stuff. I see they're talking about going back to the way it was, that you could charge people with it, because they're not working out. It's getting worse instead of better.
I want to go fly. I just don't know where I'm gonna go fly.
Well, that's the biggest problem. I don't mind going flying, but just where do I go, right?
I got plenty of places around here, but it's like, see what the winds are like.
Is that right there, Bill? Yeah. And another thing that gets me, there's a thing over in London here, London, here in Ontario, that they're helping the homeless people. That is great. I'm glad they're helping the homeless people. The only thing I got a problem with is they're doing 120 beds at a cost of $3 million. And I'm sitting there figuring it out, like that's $25,000 per person, okay? But that's not an apartment. It's not a room. It's a bed, and it's in the bottom of a church or whatever. And that only goes to May. So in other words, if they were going to go a full year, it would be $50,000 per person. Well, seniors don't make $20,000 a year here, but I don't know. It's not like they're building something for them. $3 million. Hey, we're going to build something for 120 people to have beds. These places, like they're in a basement in a church or some other vacant building, but it costs $25,000 a bed. I'm just going, really? Jesus Christ! I got 2 more bedrooms here. I should freaking run them out for $25,000 till May. Make $50,000 for 6 months. Yeah. Bill says, well, you're listening to the scanner one night. A girl called in and said, my friend is dead on the floor next to me. Fucking sad.
Yeah, not good.
So we're at 52 degrees Fahrenheit right now.
Yeah.
And the wind is 7, gust of 19 from the northeast. So that's a Mavic 3 day.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not a little mini 2 day.
And what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to wait till probably around 1 o'clock, maybe.
Yeah.
Let it warm up a little bit.
Yeah.
But I'm also going to check tonight over at Coop Drive because they might have their Christmas lights up, and I'll go fly the Christmas lights too.
What's the UAV forecast for here today? At noon, gusting to 29 mile an hour at 300 feet. Only 12% cloud cover, 19, dew point 19 degrees, 26 degrees Fahrenheit. Look at that. It's not going to get over 27 degrees Fahrenheit today. It's freaking cold out there.
But
But
we
you
got
see,
a 56% cloud cover.
in a few days there, Paul, they're talking about temperature back up to 50 degrees again for a few days.
Yeah, cold at night though, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, we got a 56% cloud cover, but it's bright outside, so there must be some blue somewhere.
Well, the long range here is all the way through Christmas, no rain or snow.
Yeah. Yeah. You see there, the Liberal government just come up with an idea back when the World War II was over about building houses that they're going to have pre-approved designs so that they don't, somebody wants a house built or they build houses, they don't have to go through all the red tape to get that house approved. The house is going to be pre-approved, this design, but it's not going to be like the old houses, like little shacks or whatever. But they're going to be pre-approved, so they don't. But still, you're going to have all the environmental assessment, drainage assessments. Probably isn't so much fucking red tape nowadays. A friend of mine that lives out just on the edge of the country, I should say a cousin, lives out in the edge of town. He wanted to put a garage in his backyard, a single-car garage, and they had so much red tape on there, he just gave up. For a garage, almost like a pole barn. You put it up and then put the cement in afterwards. Oh, they wanted drainage assessment. They had all these boundaries and brick and everything else. They just had them tied up on permits. You just forget it. I don't have nothing to do with that. And I ain't gonna bother.
Crazy.
Yep. Just so much government red tape and bureaucracy. Like Jesus Christ. They create a job in order to create another obstacle. They just.
I've got next to my desk here, I've got a pack and play for the baby when she does come over. And today I lowered the bassinet side down because she stands up now and she'll get out of it. So I lowered it down. So when I lowered it down, now you could see inside. All the dogs stood over there for about 20 minutes looking at all the toys on the inside of it. Saying, we want to go in there.
Those for us.
I mean, they're looking at it, and I told them, I said, that's for the baby. Don't even think about it.
Yeah.
Because they love her. I mean, if I put her in there, they'll sit against the side and just watch her.
Well, over here, Bill, they'll give you a letter of cease and desist. They see you're starting to build something without the proper permits and everything else in place. They just come by, stick a stake in the ground, put a letter in your door, cease and desist.
Time to fly. Good morning. I can't believe Justin's not. He's lurking somewhere.
Yeah, he might be on doing something else, or he can't burn that candle at both ends like he's been doing.
Yeah, like he's putting a lot of hours a day in the live streams, and he's got to be getting not burnt out, but tired of, just being tired and not getting up first thing in the morning. I mean, it must have to get the kids off to school, but probably lay back down again.
Well, I think I'm going to call it, guys.
Yeah, I'm going to go anyways, Paul. So.
Yep. Joe, thanks for being here, my friend, and keeping Paul company while I did that ship. Yeah. And we'll see all of you next time.
Bye, guys. See
y'all later.
Yep.